Hello. So some of you were asking about how I wear my headscarves. So I'm going to show you a few little tips and things. Some of these things you may already know or guess. Some of them may be new. I hope you'll find a style that you personally will like. Now, the most simple style you can do is like a tube scarf, like what some people use for masks. I like to roll the tag up, and you always make sure that's in the back of your head. Now, I like to take it, and then you kind of bring it in folds, and then you transfer those folds to the top of your head. And now it's like a wide headband. I like this just because, one, it looks pretty, and two, if you have more material up to the front, it holds on to you better. Now, if you like, you can add like decoration. So I have this. It's a butterfly. And I'm not sure the best place to add it because I just found it yesterday in our car. Someone left it there. But you can do something like, can you see it? Something like that. It's fun. Why not? So that's just for fun. Now with this type of head covering style, I think a high bun is best because it will hold this part in place, because what ends up happening throughout the day is it comes down and down and down. And that doesn't look terrible, but this side part looks a little funny. And then, but if you want, what you can do is you can purposely bring it down as much as you want. I still like to have as much material as you can. And you take the back, can you see me? And I like to bring in the two corners and bring in the middle and tuck it in. And now you have a very light bun covering style scarf. So this is very good. If you want to decorate it more, you can put like, you know, those silver headbands you can find in Walmart or whatever. And to make sure it lasts throughout the day, if you want to last, or you know you're going to be more active and you're going to be wearing it, you can do hair clips. So that is perfect. Now, if you have something that's like lacy, like this, because it's lacy, and this one is a little stretchy as well, actually not the way you're tying it, but anyway, it holds on very, very, very well. And so I don't use hair clips for this one just because it holds on well. As long as you're not like putting it back here, it should hold on pretty good. And so tie it in. One thing I like to do is if you are familiar with the Orthodox Jewish website called Rapunzel, and it's, you know, Rapunzel, but Rapunzel. So to make the crown style scarf, all you do is take the tails and you spin them in the exact same direction. Bring it up on top of your head, and then you twist it around at the same direction your spin is going. And this will add to it holding on better on the top of your head, as well as kind of looking a little decorative, and, you know, makes your head covering not look as plain. Also, if you want to add to it, you can add like a string of pearls or a ribbon or something like this around it. Like if you're going to a wedding and you just want to be a little, you're feeling creative and you want to add to your outfit. Okay, so sometimes that thing was kind of sticking out. There you go. Is that even? Yep. So that's another scarf style. Really fun. There you go. Loosening it up in the back so it looks more veil-like. So, yep, that is yet another style. This is, if you're going to do a long scarf style, something that's cottony and not too wide is perfect. So I like with this one to put it in half. This is what I call the Israeli hippie style because it only covers the top of your head and doesn't cover all your hair, while traditionally Jewish women cover, like, you know, all their hair. So for the first part of the wrap, I do at the 1/3 mark. So you see I got a lot of scarf here left. And I put it like right here, and I'm not as decorative with it yet. And when you tie a scarf, whether it's square or this, you want to take your scarf or tails and go palm up. The reason for this is it will tighten up here more rather than here. If you don't do it or don't have another method that works, it will tighten up here, which means it's going to slip off. And if you're planning to wear it for more than half an hour, you might want to tie it this way. Anyway, so you can fluff out your hair if you want and like whatever. And I like to take the wings and make it like this. And so I'll take the back and I'll roll it under to make sure. And having a tall bun helps with this head covering style as well to keep it in place. I'll take this, and this particular style, I like to have it over my ears to make my face look longer. And so I like to make as many wrinkles as possible. And I like to bring up and show the top of the underneath layer there because I like to make my face look longer because I think that looks better on me. And so, okay, actually I should show you what I'm doing there. So where I wrapped it around and I'm putting my hands into this pocket thing, right? Back here. That is the first wrap. And now I'm taking this and I'm pulling it through. Now you can just do this once or twice. So after I pull it through, I take this part, the pocket thing, and pull it this way so it's more at the nape of my neck. Now this point you can pull it through a second time. And this will make it more secure. And then I like to fluff it out and make it look like I have beautiful blue hair now. You can just do it once and tighten it as you go throughout the day. And sometimes I prefer that with certain scarves. I find that they will loosen up a little bit, so it's easier just as I'm going throughout the day to go boop, just a little bit, and then it's fixed. And that's it. But if you have broken arms, that doesn't work too well because I've experienced this just a little bit. And you want the easiest scarves that will not move at all. Or people are constantly adjusting them for you because you cannot do it yourself. And you don't even realize how much you adjust anything until others have to do it for you. Anyway, this is beside the point. This is a very comfortable head covering style. It is not too thick, but it's really nice, especially in the winter. So the over ear style is really nice in the winter. I have thicker scarves, which with scarf wrapping, different scarves are thicker, different material, different mixes of thread. So like, for example, this one is thinner than this one. I like this one because, don't pay attention to the fringe, because of all the colors that you see in it. It goes with a lot of things. It would go with this outfit, actually. Really nice. And that one's a nice light summer wrap. That's what I like to use for summer. This one's I like more for winter because it covers my ear. There's no holes for the wind to go through, and it just feels like you're being hugged and loved, and it's like a comfort blanket, if you know what I mean. If you're like a 2-year-old, you'll understand what I mean. So, yes. Also, speaking of like, I don't know if you can tell, but there is some silver strands in this. This one has gold strands. Really pretty, right? I really love this scarf, but when there is like gold or silver strands, not only does it add a little bit of beauty to your outfit, but it holds on to you better. It's like the lace head covering because the lace has a little bit of this like hold onto your head, on your hair, and the gold does the same thing. And so this one I don't use hair clips for either. I just tie it on, palms up, and it stays on really, really, really well. Sometimes I might add it, but it's not necessary. So, yeah. Now, for scarves that are like silk or, you know, smooth ones. So this is, as you can tell, is very shiny. It is silk, very beautiful. And I wear this one in particular for church or meetings or or outfits that I think deserve something that is beautiful and white and pure looking. But the thing is, it's very slippery. So what you need is either hair clips, and a no slip silk band is very good. So I found this one in the streets of Jerusalem. So as you can tell, there's some Hebrew, and it says Pink Lady Jerusalem. I don't know if you can actually read that. pinkladyjerusalem@gmail.com. And I recognized it because I watched the Rapunzel videos, which she gives a lot of tips on head covering wraps, and then gives ideas on how to combine scarves. Some of them are very bright, very fancy. I probably wouldn't go that far. I prefer small scarf wrap. So maybe you think I do a lot just because I do it at all, but for maybe some Orthodox Jewish women, I don't do that much at all. Anyway, the threads here, there are little hairs. So if I go this way, it's perfectly smooth. My fingers just slip across. But if I go this way, there's resistance. The hairs catch on my finger. It catches on the skin. So the way, with the hair being roughed going this way, if I can say, you want it facing that way. So I just put it on like this. And you get a scarf that you don't want to slip off and put it on it. And sometimes this silk one is that slippery that I will add hair clips as well. And you just tie it on over the headband. And the headband is nice enough. You can wear it on its own if you're like, oh, I don't want to wear the scarf anymore. And often with this one, I do like to do the crown twist, which I suppose you could just tie it and go like this without twisting it. But I think it looks nicer if you can add a twist. And then you can also take the tail. So you see how I have a tail in the back? You can tuck that underneath since I have a bun, so I can do that. And go like that. And you can also take these, actually I'll go the opposite way, so cross them and then put them around the bun like so. And then I'll tuck them underneath. If they're long enough, you can tie it or twist it around the things you already have around. Okay, I did not do a good job. But you probably could do a lot better. Just saying. Another scarf that I definitely wear the no slip band with is my Russian one. It is so pretty, isn't it? And I don't have a lot of outfits that go with it because of the colors I choose to wear. But it is kind of heavy. And so something like this, as well as hair clips. I always wear hair clips and this with this. And it will last all day. I tested it out last week. Like, toward the end of the day, it started to slip a little bit. But for the most part, it stayed in place. And I didn't need to, like, redo my scarf. Because of all the beautiful tassels, I do flip the back up. So to make sure there's enough of the tail hanging in the back once it's tied, because the tassels tend to get hooked up. And so again, palms up. That will really help to make sure there's enough. And I like to have one tail over my shoulder, just like I did with the longer head coverings. And this one's just gorgeous. I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, that is yet again another headscarf style that I love. I like the Russian type. It's just adds a bit of femininity, hope I'm pronouncing that right, to your whole outfit. Now, if it's a cold day, maybe a blue scarf is not the best choice. I'll choose a different color. Now, if it's a cold day and you are outside and you want a scarf wrap that not only covers your head and ears and that, but you want your neck covered as well, you can go Muslim. I'm joking. You don't have to go Muslim. But anyway, what you do is so as you can see, I folded it to about what looks like in the middle, but it's the 1/3 mark, so to speak. And then I bring it here and have the scarf in the middle of my head. Now, after that point, I like to take it, and now it's wide again. And so then I go under my neck and go like that. Now, depending how thick your scarf is, if it's really cold outside, there's a bit of a wind, breeze, you may want to go overhead a second or third time. So in that case, you go up and over like this. Now that does kind of look Muslim because it has a thicker look around the neck, and that's what Muslim women do actually in their headscarf wraps. But if you're working in the barn, in the middle of the country, no one's going to notice. So stay warm. Don't die. And then you can go over here a second time. And so now you're not only your neck, but your ears are wrapped several times. And then I will take this, kind of roll it inward and tuck it in. There you go. And then if you're like really, really, really cold, and like you need more scarves, you know, for example, I can grab another one. Go like this. Wrap it around, and now you will not die. You're welcome. One more tip is you can take the front to make it tighter around your face, because like with a wind coming at you, it can be quite cold. So you take the top part, and so well, if it's pulled up more, then you can bring it up and go like this. Now by giving it a tighter fit, it keeps the wind from coming in, and you'll be a lot warmer. Now, for people who do head covering, so anyone can do this, but it's not going to stay on firm. But if you use your head covering only when prayer is being offered up, so whenever a guy takes off his hat, you're putting yours on, this is a style that I like to do sometimes. So this one has a seam because it's an everlasting scarf. Sorry, I forgot the real term. So I like to put it to the side. That way you don't see it. And I put it over my head to start out with. Then I twist it, and then I twist it again and bring it over. Now by twisting it this way with it on your head, now you can take it off and put it back on when prayer's being offered. So it works like a hoodie, if you could say that. And so that's kind of fun, and it keeps your neck warm. Not so much your ears, because you only have one layer and it's kind of loose. But if you don't want to look Muslim, loose is best then. So, I mean, you look cute. You look like, I don't know, the Blessed Virgin Mary. So this is, maybe this isn't the best scarf because it is really wide. But it is really pretty because it's pink, obviously. So a styling do, I don't need this no silk band with this. Like you can, but you don't have to. I don't usually do these scarves. So another band. So this is kind of like the hippie Israeli twist, except you're doing it the other direction. And I don't feel like this one holds on to as well, or maybe I should say it's a little harder to figure out with your hands and what material works best with your head, because when you learn scarf wrapping, and it is a little bit of an art, it is, you have to get used to what the material feels like, not only in your hands, but on your head, and what it feels like to have it secure. And sometimes it'll take a few times before you're like, oh, I've made it perfect. It stays on my head. So with this one, I put in the back, in the center of my head, rather than the 1/3 mark. And so now I pass it by each other. Now, when I pass it by each other, I pull this part here where my pinky finger is pointing and pull it more over, and I widen the band up. Now I do the same over here. I will widen the band up a little bit, or just widen it in general, and bring it here. The reason I widen it is because it will hold on your head better if it's holding more toward the front of your head. And now I twist it toward my ear and behind me so that it is pulling more up here. And then I will tie it once, palm up again, and usually I like to have one tail behind me, and I will kind of loosen it up so it's down and keep my beautiful pink hair here. So yeah, now this looks a little bit more Middle Eastern just because you can see the twists, but it's kind of fun, honestly. One wrap that is very common amongst Israeli women, and it's a simple one, it's called the Bon wrap. So I will do the 1/3 mark with all of this scarf. And I will, maybe I'll make it a little bit, actually no, that might work. I don't know. Yeah. So you want it like from wherever you want on your head. So I like it to be, I like a little hair showing in the front. So like, let's say that's about 1.5 inches there. And then it's just a little bit past my bun in the back. You don't want it too long. So if it's too long, then you fold some underneath here, right? Okay. And I'll bring it behind my ears because I like it behind my ears. And then I will tie it once. Doopy-doo-doo. And then palms up. Now, at this point, you can do one of two things. You can do what I did for the hippie Israeli style, which is like, so this tail is coming from this side. I pull it across to make it look smoother. So you can either bring it across, like let's say it's a cold day and your ears are kind of cold, or you just feel like you want more stuff up front, and you can bring it up here. So go like this. Now you feel like you're being hugged, and bring it this way. I like the sparkles to show personally, and then bring it through the hole here. So I come from the back and up. Actually, I grabbed a hair there. No hair, please. And then you just kind of pull this thing in the back. So I'm not watching, like in the mirror, I can't tell if it's perfect or not, but you can be the judge of that, I suppose. Now you got a lot of hair this way. Or, let's undo that. What you can do instead is you can take it and go around your bun. Go like that. Is that not covering there? Maze. And go around. I don't know. I haven't done this style in a long time, honestly, so do it many times as you want. I suppose we could put it underneath. I don't know if that even looks good. And go like that. You